All right, man. What's up with this? With the grab bag? We got a grab bag?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Fellas.
What in the world is in that bag? What you got in that bag?
DJ's top
Yes,
5.
indeed. Like we always do at this time. Kaboom. Guess who stepped in the room?
It's TJ.
TJ here. Listen, we've been talking a lot lately about Aaron Rodgers, right? And with
Yes,
that
we
Aaron
have.
Rodgers talk came a lot of age talk, right? We're talking about this guy's almost 40. Can he get it done?
Right.
And I've said this on the show to you before, Chris, and just in private. I feel like sports has really messed up our view of age, Kirk. Like we kind of think that people are old because they're old for a sport, but that don't make you old for life.
Right.
30 years old is not old, man. 40 years old is not old. 50 years
Right.
old is not old, man. There's a lot of life ahead of you. So the thing we always talk about with this is father time and how you can't beat father time.
Yeah.
But I feel a few athletes have gone and done it. I feel there's a few athletes, more than a few actually, who have beaten father time. And I decided to reach into the big ass grab bag, and I'm going to give you TJ's top 5 athletes that I believe did in fact defeat father time. Now coming in at number 5, we got Nolan Ryan. Okay, the Ryan Express. Nolan Ryan, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. From the ages of 40 to 44 years old, from 1987 to 91, Nolan Ryan, he won 61 games, lost 52. He had 1,234 strikeouts in those 4 years, including seasons where he had 270 Ks and 301 Ks. Now, he finished his last 2 years. I think he had 5 wins for those last 2 seasons. But in this stretch of time, I feel like Nolan Ryan looked Father Time in the face and threw it high and hard down the middle, and Father Time took a swing and just whiffed on this one. I think Nolan Ryan definitely defeated Father Time, in my opinion.
3 things I think of with Nolan Ryan. Number 1, obviously the fight with Robin Ventura. That is classic always.
Yeah, right.
That also told you he beat Father Time because he was like the old dude beating up the young dude.
Just mopping him on the dome.
Oh, he was mopping him. That's number 1. My second all-time Nolan Ryan memory is that growing up in the Bay Area, there was a big thing, the all-time stolen base record for Ricky Henderson, where he goes out, he steals 939 to beat Lou Brock's record, and everybody was talking about Ricky Henderson all throughout that afternoon. And then Nolan Ryan threw a no-hitter that night, and everybody forgot. I always remember that as a kid. And then my last memory is that my mom actually went to watch Nolan Ryan. He threw a no-hitter against the Athletics, and she always told me, man, I saw a no-hitter tonight. It was like pretty cool. This is when no-hitters were a thing. Like, remember when somebody had a no-hitter, everybody stopped what they were doing because it was a big deal. Now it's like, oh, this team, they had a combined no-hitter. He threw it. It's like, it's not as, but Nolan Ryan made no-hitters cool.
And he threw 2 in that time span that we're talking about, two no-nos. So Nolan Ryan, like I said, I think he took out Father Time. Now, moving to number 4, when you think tennis, the average length of a tennis career is not that long. I think somewhere around the 24 for women, maybe 27 for men, when you kind of either leave the sport, you kind of peak a little bit earlier in tennis. But I mean, this woman's the GOAT. She's the greatest of all time, and she definitely just hit Father Time with a few aces to win 6 Love. That's Serena Williams. She turned 30 in 2011.
Wow.
And in that time, until recently when she retired, she went to 19 finals of major tournaments. She won 12, including 2 doubles with Venus. So I think Serena definitely just punked out Father Time, and she took Father Time out of the box. Coming in at number 3, we got your guy. He's still doing it right now, 38 years old. No one in the history of basketball has done it like that. That's LeBron James.
Yeah.
LeBron James. Come on, he became the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA at 38. And, this year he averaged 29 points, 8 boards, 7 dimes. He's got his team in the playoffs, and maybe he could lead them back to the finals. But LeBron still has about 5 years left, Kirk. He ain't going nowhere, man. I do believe he's going to want to play with his sons. We all know this. I believe so. I don't see LeBron, the way he takes care of his body, the things that he does. LeBron has definitely taken Father Time to the hole and just flushed on him. Like,
5?
LeBron's, why not? You see him stopping anytime soon?
Yeah, about 5. I mean, that's a long time.
It's going to be at least 3 for Bronny to get to the league, right?
Yeah, I understand that part, but Bronny can be there in another season after one more year because he'll be eligible. He has to be 1 year removed from high school.
Do you feel like he's really ready, though?
Trust me, he's LeBron's son. If he wants to play,
somebody's going to take him.
Somebody's going to take
All
him.
right, well, that's my guess. That's just my guess. I think LeBron's going to play till at least he's like, I don't know, 42. I know it's not 5, but whatever. Coming in number 3, we got Brockman's boy. This just makes the most sense. That's Thomas Edward.
Number 3.
I'm sorry, number 2.
Number 2?
I apologize. Yes. Tom Brady. Coming in number 2, look, 34-18 were the team record over his last 3 seasons with Tampa. 108 touchdowns, 33 picks. He also won the Super Bowl. He's going down as the greatest quarterback, if not the greatest football player of all time. Tom Brady definitely stared Father Time down as they were rushing up the middle, and he just dropped a dime to – he probably dropped a dime to Chris Brockman if he needed to.
He won the MVP at 40.
Yes, and then he went out last year. I mean, he was 8-9, but he still finished with 25 touchdowns and 9 picks.
Set 2 NFL records last year.
Yeah,
it was unheard of for a quarterback to play in his 40s.
Yes.
Quarterback in his 40s, like, wow, quarterback in his 40s. He set the mark now that quarterbacks now say, I know I can play into my 40s because I know what it looks like. He's done that.
Yeah, and he's an anomaly. We keep talking about if Aaron Rodgers played at 45 or can this guy or that guy. Tom Brady's an anomaly. He don't come around often. You're not going to see this very often because not many people can do it. Tom Brady did it. Tom Brady beat Father Time. And coming in number 1, you might be like, well, who's number 1? Well, I look at it like this. Those are all sports that you rely on teammates, except for tennis. Of course, you're out there by yourself. But to me, an athlete, to beat Father Time, you really have to get physical with Father Time. You got to put your hands on Father Time and kind of ragdoll him. And nobody did that more than Big George Foreman. 45, almost 46 years of age. This man went out and won the heavyweight boxing title of this world. And in doing so, when he beat Michael Moore in 1994, people might not know, he broke 3 records. He became the oldest man to ever win the heavyweight title. He celebrated the longest time between the first and second title reign, which was, I believe, 20 years between reigns. And he also was the biggest age difference between a champion and a challenger for the heavyweight title. Big George stood there and he waited all fight. If you remember this fight, he just 1-2'd Michael Moore right down the middle. He took a lot of punishment. He took a lot of hits, but George knew what he was doing, and he finally put Michael Moore away with that just bang, 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 and he became the heavyweight champion. And Jim Lampley with one of the great calls of all time when he went, "It happens." It gives me chills just thinking about this fight. And that's why I think, because he had to go out there and physically put his hands on another man who was much younger, I believe that's why George Foreman gets my number 1 rank as the athlete who defeated Father Time. And of course, I'm always interested to hear what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, I mean, are you part of the publicity team for the new George Foreman movie?
Well, that's the other thing. We had.
Did you get a little cut?
That was the other
too?
thing. We had Chris Davis coming. We had Chris Davis who portrays George Foreman. He was in studio this week, and that kind of helped me kind of come to that conclusion that, like, 45, he was only Miss 46, Kurt.
Right.
Not playing a game, but boxing. You don't play boxing, man. It's physical, it's violent, and he went out there at that age and did something no one else could do.
So for me, what about, especially watching this past Masters, what about Phil Mickelson? I mean, dude's 51, still getting it and hanging with the young dudes, man. I'm just saying, I'm looking at his resume. He's also defeated Father Time a little bit. When you look at a dude finishing second in the Masters,
for sure,
and some of these young guns, I watch Full Swing on Netflix. He out there playing with the young dudes, right?
That's an interesting one. Phil's the oldest winner of a major ever.
Correct.
He won the PGA 2 years ago.
Is that not what is the definition of being it?
He had an amazing weekend at Augusta to finish second. That's not bad. Golf's a little, less strenuous on your body.
I mean, I could never put Phil over George Foreman. Like,
because Tiger Woods is whooping Tiger Woods. I mean, Father Time is whooping Tiger Woods bad. Well, and I know it was some injuries. I know it was also like,
he almost died in a car accident.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it is whooping him up too, though. Yeah,
that's true.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.